days, reporters have more on their plate than ever before. Not only do they have to go to long public meetings and sit through hours of testimony, they also have to find data and documents and tease out information that no one else understands or maybe has. Often they have to post their own stories online and promote them on social media, and it all adds up. So I've found ways to help speed the process along using artificial intelligence. It's never going to be a replacement for doing the actual work of reporting, but there are tools and practical tips that you can use, particularly with a AI tool called NotebookLM that I've been using to help speed things along. I'm going to show you one of the ways that I've used it recently that helped save me about 3 hours out of my day, and it only took me about 5 minutes. So come on along and check it out. We're going to start today's lesson with a little background on Stephen Feinberg. Stephen Feinberg is the current U.S. Deputy Secretary of Defense. He's also the CEO of an alternative and private equity firm called Cerberus Capital Management, which happens to own the Albertsons Corporation, which I cover for Supermarket News. When Stephen was nominated to take the role of Deputy Secretary of Defense, he had to go through the same confirmation hearings as everybody else. And so when he was brought up before the committee, it was a 3-hour committee hearing. And I wanted to find out if he said anything about Albertsons. One of the great things that you can use NotebookLM for is sifting through long YouTube videos. Here we are at the Forbes website, their YouTube channel, with the entire meeting. I said 3 hours earlier, it was only about 2.5 hours. I wasn't able to sit back and listen to 2.5 hours of testimony hoping that he would talk about Albertsons. So what I did is I grabbed the URL and dropped it into NotebookLM and checked it that way. So that's what I'm going to show you today. Here we are at NotebookLM, and I'm at the home screen, and I've already grabbed the URL for the Forbes video of the hearing. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go to the link section right here and click on YouTube, drop in the URL, hit insert. So now that we have the document loaded, you can go over here and take a look. And the entire meeting has been transcribed just from dropping this video in. One of the things that you have to be really careful about is hallucinations and inaccuracies in those transcriptions. But now that we have it loaded in, it's a 2.5-hour video, and we're just going to ask it, did they mention Albertsons? Was Albertsons mentioned in this meeting? Here it is. It's thinking for a second. It says, yes, the name Albertsons was mentioned in the sources provided. During the hearing, Mr. Feinberg referred to our supermarket company Albertsons, or what used to be the company, when discussing the challenge of improving the culture within the Department of Defense to embrace innovation in real-time data analytics. You'll notice that there are footnotes here that will take you to the section where this was discussed. Unfortunately, it has highlighted the entire meeting, so that's not going to be good. Like I said, these AI tools often are flawed and kind of fussy, so even though they had good intent of trying to create footnotes the entire transcription. So that's not going to be really that useful for us. But it says he used the example of going to the CEO of this company who was initially resistant to using technology despite competition from companies like Amazon, on and on and on. And this is just a little clip. Let's ask if Albertsons was mentioned anywhere else in the meeting. Was Albertsons mentioned anywhere else in the meeting? Based on the provided sources and our conversation history, the name Albertsons was mentioned only once during the meeting. So there you have it. It's pretty simple. That just saved me about 2.5 hours of listening to this whole meeting and getting nothing out of it. There is an outside chance that it was mentioned more than once, and the AI just isn't getting it. But I'm going to accept this because I, again, didn't have 2.5 hours to sit through this entire thing on the off chance that he might mention it. It was kind of a long shot anyway, but if it had produced, a section where he did discuss Albertsons in great detail, that would have been a news story for me. Albertsons and Kroger tried to merge last year and were rejected by 2 courts. So that merger deal didn't go through, and now there are a host of lawsuits between the 2 companies, and their divestiture partners, C&S Wholesale Grocers. So I thought there was a pretty good chance that he might actually discuss that, or at least be questioned about it. But it turns out that that wasn't the case. So there you go. That's pretty much it. It's a small way that I was able to save time and still check in on this meeting. So that's it. I'm going to drop a link into the profile or into the description of this video with my earlier NotebookLM instructional video. So if you want to find out more about how to generate podcasts and other kinds of details that you'll see here, go and check it out. Thanks for watching.